Hello everyone, Micah Fights with Friends. Today I will be reviewing a match from World Vale Tudo Championship number 2. World Vale Tudo Championship was a promotion from Brazil that started in 1996. This match was a super fight between Marco Ruas, UFC champion number 7, and Oleg Taktarov, UFC champion number 6. Oleg Taktarov beating Tank Abbott in his debut. It was both of their debuts. Sambo expert Oleg Taktarov. Marco Ruas, known as the King of the Streets. He was one of the most developed full MMA fighters at the time. A lot of people said he laid the groundwork for fighters like Anderson Silva. This is Oleg Taktarov right here. Oleg Taktarov, as you can hear about the story here on Fights of Friends with my interview with Art Davie, the founder and creator of the UFC. Oleg Taktarov came over from Russia, flew over and was homeless and was sleeping in a car outside of the gym. Had sent a videotape in, asked Art Davie for a shot in the UFC. And they ended up giving it to him, and he ended up going through all the way through and winning UFC number 6. Of course, World Vale Tudo Championship in a ring, not a cage, as you can see. If you watch my first video, you know I bought these videos. I bought 1, 2, 3, and I thought I bought 4. I'm not sure if I bought 4 or not. I have 5. Anyways, I bought these back in probably the 99 or early 2000s. On eBay, and I forgot about them. And I actually am watching some of these fights as I'm reacting to them. So I've actually never seen this fight. So you're going to see it at the same time I'm going to see it. Number 6 Ultimate Fighter Champion Oleg Taktarov of Sambo versus number 7 UFC Champion King of the Streets Marco Ruas. Marco Ruas won UFC number 7. One of the big matches, I believe, is the finale against the polar bear, Paul Varlins, 6'7", 330 pounds. Marco Ruas was really the guy to use leg kicks effectively. The first guy to effectively use leg kicks in the UFC. As you can see, these guys still have no gloves, no wraps, no shoes. Very little rules. Hit punches to the back of the head are allowed. 12-6 elbows are allowed. Knees and kicks to the head of an opponent are allowed. And this is somewhat of a super fight. I said Marco, the King of the Streets, Ruas versus Oleg, the Russian Bear, Taktarov. Oleg Taktarov has never been finished. Neither one of these guys have. Oleg Taktarov, he's a guy that's just not going to tap. He's known in Sambo for not tapping. He's known all over. Marco Ruas called the King of the Streets because of legendary street fights. He was like the Brazilian version of Kimbo before Kimbo. Nice jab from Marco Ruas to start this out. Taktarov with a low leg kick. He finished Tank Abbott with a leg lock, actually. And you see those low leg kicks here. This is right around 96, 1997, so low leg kicks were very, very new to MMA. Now, before World Vale Tudo Championship number 1, which was in July of 96, Marco Ruas actually took 6 months off to refine his skills and retool after fighting in the UFC. Just felt that he really wanted to tighten everything up and just get that much better. Already was on top of the world and won UFC championship. Just wanted to get that much better. Hungry fighter, Oleg Taktarov, like I said, straight right there. Was waiting outside of Art Davie's house, the founder of the UFC, their gym, homeless. Came over from Russia. Given the chance finally by Art Davie, he would win his first UFC 6, in Colorado at elevation, mind you. This in Brazil, like I said, World Vale Tudo Champion number 2 out of Brazil. Oh, nice right hand there by Oleg Taktarov. Marco Ruas, also a boxing champion and a champion by this point in several different MMA style organizations, including Pancrase, which is basically the same thing, only closed hand strikes not allowed, only open hand. Nice low leg kick there for Oleg Taktarov. These were two of the best, well-versed guys as far as stand-up and spinning back fist from Marco Ruas. And you can see the speed on that. You could see that so clearly. You can see the replay in the picture-in-picture. And for 96, 97, these guys seem to have better camera work sometimes than what the UFC has. Maybe it's because of the one camera. And you could definitely see it better because it's in a ring also. That is one of the advantages to being in a ring. Whoa, good head movement there from Oleg Taktarov. Ducks right underneath the overhand right of Marco Ruas. And the king of the streets, what's he going to do? He's got so many tools. Both these guys do. Both of them have excellent submissions. Both of them can stand up. Two of the very, very first true mixed martial artists, Oleg Taktarov and Marco Ruas. And Marco Ruas using the feints. Very new to MMA right now. All this stuff is very, very advanced for 1997. Oh, and Oleg Taktarov lands a combination. 1-2 in the left hand there. And as I mentioned before, remember, these guys do no gloves. So it's just fist to face. Lots of broken hands, lots of cuts. Oh, nice left hand there from Marco Ruas. And really only takes one shot to take a guy out. I mean, they do it with the 4-ounce gloves. There's a lot of different arguments for gloves. Without gloves, you guys want to see MMA without gloves? Here you go. And like I said, soccer kicks are allowed in this, which means kicks to the head of a downed opponent, knees to the head of a downed opponent. And this is old school, 20th century MMA. Marco Ruas just dancing around, throwing jabs. Both these guys just boxing so far. Interesting. Nice right hand there from Oleg Taktarov. Angle a little bit behind the referee there on the camera. Stay out of the way, referee. And you can see this referee is kind of standing in there. Looks more like a boxing referee, the way he's standing there. Very new. At least he's staying out of the way. And a beautiful left hook to the body there from Marco Ruas. And I can hear that. The sound just thuds to the body of Oleg Taktarov. Beautiful left hook and a combination from Marco Ruas. Like I said, Marco Ruas, Brazilian national boxing champion. And a big combination from Marco Ruas floors Oleg Taktarov and Oleg back up. And let's see the replay on that one. Referee kind of jumped in the way on that one. Get out of the way, referee. And the crowd now chanting, Ruas, Ruas. No bad seat in there. You can see not a very large arena at all here for World Vale Tudo Championship 2. Double left hook. Oh, nice 1-2 there from Marco Ruas. This event also included Pedro Rizzo, who would become the UFC heavyweight champion. And Oleg Taktarov, you can see the cuts on the head from the bare knuckles of Marco Ruas. Beautiful shots from Ruas. Beautiful combinations, and he is just slicing Taktarov's head up. And when they get inside, you can see the hand speed difference between Ruas and Taktarov. And look at the right side of old Taktarov's face. I mean, it is covered in blood. Another big combination from the king of the streets. Beautiful footwork, beautiful hand speed. Reminds you a lot of a Vitor Belfort, too. Like I said, this guy was the original. Nice right hand there from Oleg Taktarov. And a low leg kick from Oleg. But yeah, he was the original rounded mixed martial artist. Marco Ruas. Straight right, left hook. There from the king of the streets. And a knee to the body. Oleg Taktarov shakes his finger. Says no. But Marco Ruas, I think, is saying, yes, this is working. And you are covered in blood, my friend. Ruas continuing to just circle. Oh, and lands into the left hand there. A nice left hook there. And will there be a takedown? Oh, nice one too. I'm waiting for one of these guys to take a takeoff. Oleg Taktarov, is Ruas again, but it doesn't really tell you anything. Obviously, he's been tagged. And Oleg really needs to land here. He's just walking into the shots of Ruas. Not landing a whole lot himself, being thoroughly outboxed. Now you can see the head movement there of Marco Ruas. Just much better footwork, much better hand speed. And the UFC 7 champion so far, at least on the feet, outmatching the number 6 champion, and a nice knee there from Ruas. I said the king of the streets versus the Russian bear. Oleg Taktarov, a master of leg locks and heel hooks. A Sambo master. Marco Ruas, Brazilian national boxing champion. Champion of several different MMA matches similar to this or the UFC. Nice straight right there from Oleg Taktarov. He definitely can box. He boxed with Tank Abbott in Colorado in UFC 6, and a right hand to the body from Marco Ruas. And Ruas just taking his time here. Remember, no rounds here, no stopping, just a standing box-up match, straight left here, and wow, nice left hook there from Marco Ruas. And one has to wonder why Oleg Taktarov would continue to just stand here in a boxing match with the king of the streets, Marco Ruas. I mean, it's evident so far, at least, that he has way better boxing. And I'm not sure what the referee was getting in there for, but Marco Ruas immediately breaks the clinch of Oleg Taktarov. Looked like he did not want to be in the clinch of Oleg Taktarov. And that could be just because he's winning the striking battle on the feet. And he knows Oleg has a lot of weapons on the ground. Sometimes you can see, oh, nice right hand there from Oleg Taktarov. Some of these matches you can see why they have rounds now, and why they have judges, and why they have time limits. But there are definitely some great matches that have no time limits, and nice exchange between both guys there. Not the high definition camera work and things that the UFC has right now, but like I said, sometimes you end up with some actual better visibility because of the ropes, and I think the one camera angle. Unfortunately, sometimes the referee's in the way and there's not another camera angle, and you miss a shot. Marco Ruas has been outboxing Oleg Taktarov for this entire match. And Oleg not even close. Big left hook there from Marco Ruas right on the temple. With those bare knuckles just slicing the Russian bear's face up. And now he goes to the body. Oh, and a beautiful combination to the head and to the body. Marco Ruas and a big left hook. And will Ruas start to work on the leg kicks and mix this up? Make Ruas wonder what's coming next. Oleg Taktarov, this just seems like suicide, standing here and boxing with Marco Ruas to me for Oleg Taktarov. He's got to go for some kind of a takedown, you would think, some kind of kicks, something different. Big right hand misses there for Ruas, and Oleg misses with a left hook. Oleg really having a hard time landing most of his punches and finding range. Ruas peppering Taktarov with that bare-knuckle jab right now. Giving him a chance for that face to heal. Nice jab there from Taktarov. Remember, there'll be no cutman, though. There'll be no rounds. There is no time. And there is basically no rules. There's no biting. There's no eye gouging. And that's pretty much the end of it. I believe groin shots are legal here. Headbutts, 12-6 elbows are totally legal. Head kicks to the down opponent are legal. Knees to the head of a down opponent are completely legal. Oh, big right hand. You could really hear that crack. And some lefts there from Ruas. And now Taktarov goes for the takedown, and Ruas splits him up. Look at the hand speed on Marco Ruas. No gloves slowing those hands down, and that was brilliant combination. Oleg used to grabbing onto that gi. Like in Sambo and Jiu-Jitsu, you're used to using a gi. Judo and Jiu-Jitsu, Sambo, all use gis. And Steve Jenham wore a gi against Marco Ruas. Ruas took him down quickly. You can watch that other video here on this channel. I uploaded it yesterday. Nice left hand there from Ruas. And I apologize if this is going on a little longer than maybe you had planned on watching. Nice knee to the body there from Ruas. I am watching this, like I said, in real time with you guys. Knee to the body from Ruas. Little right hand slap over the top from Oleg Taktarov. And Ruas landing that jab at will. I would just continue to land that. And if this does go to the ground, Marco Ruas loves to throw that headbutt on the ground. Nice left hook there from Ruas. Oh, big right hand from Oleg. And he tagged Ruas. And Ruas comes back with a straight right hand there. In this same World Vale Tudo Championships, and I will do the match between Pedro Hizzo and Vernon the Tiger White. Vernon White, of course, had a legendary bout with Chuck Waddell. A lot of great fights in different organizations. Pedro Hizzo would go on to become the UFC heavyweight champion. And yeah, no water, no cutman. I mean, you could not break for anything. A nice right hand there from Ruas. There is a 30-minute time limit. They just told me tonight, I'm listening to the sound, 30-minute time limit. I don't have the sound on this because this is a reaction video, and I'm trying to keep it pure to that and stay within the YouTube guidelines. Oh, nice right hooks here from Marco Ruas. Even though this is a defunct organization that the UFC did not buy. So nice left hands there from Marco Ruas. Oh, Oleg Taktarov lands a big left and right there, and Marco Ruas flurries back. They're going to show the replay there, and Ruas comes back and cuts open the face of Oleg Taktarov that much more. I mean, he's cutting him open like a knife. I don't know how far we're in here. I have not been timing this guy, but it seems like it's been about 10 minutes. So I apologize if this is a little long. But like I said, I had not watched this match before. Could end up being 30 minutes. Ruas just circling Taktarov. Nice head movement there from Ruas. The two are talking to each other. They do know each other well. They've been on the circuit together. They were both in the UFC. They went to UFC parties together. Both of them were at the party after UFC 7. Oh, and Ruas fakes the spinning back fist. Of course, he landed a beautiful spinning back fist earlier. Oh, and Taktarov now faking the straight right. I almost said Jenham. As earlier I did the fight between Marco Ruas and Steve Jenham. Nice right hand there from Marco Ruas. Ruas now switching to southpaw. Now back to orthodox. Oleg starting to breathe a little heavier now. Ruas has been breathing decently heavy for a little while here. Of course, Ruas has expended the more energy. Great movement there from Ruas. Gets out of the way of those shots from Taktarov. And then Ruas misses and Taktarov gets out of the way. The more these guys get tired, the more they're going to become susceptible and get careless. Their hands are going to drop. Like you've seen, oh, nice straight right for Marco Ruas. Like you've seen back in the day with no time limits when Pete Williams knocked out Mark Coleman, I believe about 15 minutes of a no-round match. And Pete Williams knocked out the champion Mark Coleman with a head kick. Because his head had came down. He was so tired. His hands and everything were down. Low leg kick there from Taktarov. And Taktarov shaking the finger at Ruas again. Talking smack to him. Trying to tell Ruas, come on, come down to the ground, chicken. He says, come on, chicken. And Ruas just not going to go down that easy. But Taktarov seems to think that's where he wants to be. Nice right hook there from Ruas to the body. Oh, and another right hook to the body there from Ruas. He's going to break Taktarov's ribs with those bare knuckles. Left hook to the body from Taktarov. Not as strong as Ruas's punches, though, the boxing champion. Oh, and Ruas turning there to southpaw, kind of just flicking the jab out there. Kind of more just for show and to keep the action going at this moment. And the crowd chanting Ruas, the champion here in Brazil. And this guy fought tons of fight on the street, similar to Kimbo Slice, before fighting an organized MMA. Oh, and a left hook finally lands there for Oleg Taktarov. And Ruas misses. Taktarov's going to clinch him here. This is what he wants to do. He wants to get this fight to the ground. Lands a knee, couple punches, and they break back to the center of the cage. Taktarov was willing to let him loose and take the shots. I thought for sure Taktarov was going to go for the takedown. Ruas showing the right hand there, not throwing it. And Taktarov landing the straight left there. Very strategic chess match here. Just a standing, bare-knuckle boxing match basically so far. Oh, both men land shots. You could hear the thud of the fists against the face there. Marco Ruas looking to land that big right hand. Oleg Taktarov, like I said, oh, nice knee there from Ruas. Like I said, I'm surprised that Taktarov is still standing here. He has landed some shots. I mean, he's not been totally out of this. Lands an open palm strike there. But I can't believe that he has not tried harder to take this to the ground. You can see the blood coming from the mouth now of Oleg Taktarov. Blood coming from his eye. And Ruas very patient here. Lands a couple shots. Get out of the way of Taktarov's shots. Oh, that landed for Taktarov. He lands a straight left, and you can hear that land on the face of Ruas. Oh, and there's those legendary low leg kicks. And just one of those, and Taktarov is like, F that, man. That is not cool. You gotta wonder if he's going to go back to that more. He's seen the reaction of Oleg Taktarov from that leg kick. You gotta think he's going to attack those legs more now. Oh, and he goes for a body kick there. Taktarov goes to catch it, not quite able to. That's what he wants, though. Oleg Taktarov, he wants to grab a leg, anything to get this fight down to the ground. And nice straight left there from Ruas. Taktarov throwing a combination there, missing everything. Ruas, like I said, great head movement, great footwork. Oh, nice straight right and a left hook there from the king of the streets, Marco Ruas. And a straight right there from Ruas. And Oleg kind of saying, oh, that didn't hurt me. Lands a low leg kick, but it definitely hurt him. Those are definitely slicing his face up at the minimum. And Ruas continuing to circle here on Oleg Taktarov. Who will win this super fight? Oh, man! And you can see, I mean, you think some of these guys now have some leg kicks. Marco Ruas was the first guy to do this. He's landed 2 big leg kicks, and Oleg Taktarov's leg already swelling up here. And look at his face. It is a mess. Oh, and Taktarov checks that one. This is very high level. Oh, Oleg Taktarov lands a low leg kick and a 1-2. Landing combinations here. And Taktarov's face is, like I said, it's just a mess. Another low leg kick lands there from Marco Ruas. And trying to see I'm trying to figure out what the referee's saying. I think there's a mouthpiece on the ground. And Taktarov asked to know the time. I'm not sure that they told him. He wanted to know how much time he has left. Remember, oh, nice right hook to the body there from Ruas. Nice right hand there from Ruas. Look at that. Look at the thickness on Ruas's leg. Oh, and a really low leg kick there from Marco Ruas. And he just 4 leg kicks landed pretty much from Ruas. And Taktarov already limping. You can see him throwing his leg up to check already. He does not want to feel those leg kicks anymore. And now that Ruas is starting to attack, this could be the beginning of the end. Remember, time limit on this match, 30 minutes. Taktarov misses a left hook there, lands a low leg kick. I don't know when this match ends. Like I said, I'm watching this for the first time with you guys. So I actually have no idea what happens. It's been sitting away in my collection for in between 15 and 20 years when I bought it. I completely forgot I had it. Straight left lands there for Oleg Taktarov. Ruas landing a straight left there. Little right hand slap there from Ruas and a low leg kick from Taktarov. Straight right from Ruas. And just a lot of patience here from Ruas. I wish I would have put a timer on this. Oh, and that was a really hard leg kick. And that was the other leg. And Taktarov is now limping on both legs. Remember, I said Marco Ruas took Paul Varlan's out, the 320-pound giant at UFC 7, kicked his legs. Oh, man. You can just hear the snap of those leg kicks as Ruas pulls up that little knee guard. He says, I'm ready to end this. He's going to the leg kicks now. And he's broken men's legs with these leg kicks. He's one of the best leg kickers of all time. Big right hand and a left hook, and the leg kicks are now setting up everything else. Marco Ruas winning the striking battle now, running on all cylinders. Oleg Taktarov, he's got to go for a takedown here. He really has to. He cannot sit here and trade leg kicks with Marco Ruas. I mean, that's like a boxer trading leg kicks with an expert tie kicker. And you can hear that again, just the thudding leg kicks. And Taktarov, I mean, he's trying. He just does not have the kind of technique and training. Marco Ruas, also a world Muay Thai champion, former champion. This guy had done it all. Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, Muay Thai, boxing champion, MMA champion, UFC champion. Marco Ruas still probably one of the best fighters to ever step in mixed martial arts. Oh, wow, that was hard. You could really hear the thud of that leg kick there. And, man, you got to imagine these guys have got to be exhausted. No wiping the spinning heel kick misses there. Oleg Taktarov looks like the Terminator with that face right now. Straight right there from Ruas. Wow, nice low leg kick again there from Ruas. And a combination lands for Taktarov. And this could land, this could leave more openings for Ruas, though. And Taktarov could land a big shot himself. He wants to floor Ruas. He wants to get him down any way he can to work on those leg kicks, arm bars, chokes, any of his submissions. Oleg Taktarov is submission master. Rorion Gracie, the co-founder of the UFC, actually told Art Davie when he seen the tape that he did not want Oleg Taktarov in the UFC, did not respect him, because leg locks were thought to be a lesser form of art at the time. When Art Davie seen that, he said, hey, I think this guy's a threat. And that's why he doesn't want him in there. And Art Davie ended up bringing him in. A big low leg kick again there from Marco Ruas. Like I said, the UFC had been around for just about 3.5 years. Oh, and Ruas lands the head kick. They said that didn't... Oh, he definitely connected. The edge of the foot connects there. You can see on the replay. Ruas landed another left hand there. And Ruas just setting the pace here. Controlling his breathing. There's no 1 minute rest in between 5-minute rounds. There's no judges' scorecards. Another low leg kick there from Marco Ruas after 15 minutes. It's just 30 minutes of no rest, no water, no wiping blood out of your eyes, no motivation speak from your corner. And these guys can yell at you from the outside. That's about it. There's no strategy in between rounds. And Oleg Taktarov's face, and Taktarov goes for the takedown, and he's just going to go straight to his back to try to draw Ruas in. I'm surprised he got up there. And Ruas lands a left hand. Maybe that's not the position he wanted to be in. Surprised he doesn't pull guard here at this point. But Ruas is a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu champion himself. He's got great Jiu-Jitsu. Nice low leg kick there from Ruas. But I think Taktarov thinks that's his only shot. And at this point, you could kind of see why he might think that. He is really getting beat up. And Ruas just picking his shots here. Taktarov waiting for a mistake so he can go for the takedown. Ruas landing another leg kick, which is, of course, going to make it harder for Oleg to get those takedowns. Straight left from Oleg. And a left hook over the top there from Ruas. Ruas moving in forward aggressively now. Fakes the leg kick. Now he lands that one. And Oleg lands that overhand right over the top. Ruas dropped his hand when he threw that leg kick. And Oleg took advantage. Throws the right hook over the top. Just a very complicated chess match between these guys. And I want to know what you guys think. Do you guys think, are these guys hitting harder without the gloves? Are they faster? I mean, Ruas' hands definitely look fast. Oh! Wow, spinning heel kick there from Marco. Ruas lands right in the face. Straight left and a right hook there. Whoa, look at the replay on that. Right on the jaw. What high-level striking here. Nice low leg kick there from Ruas. High-level striking here from the king of the streets, Marco Ruas. Imagine meeting this guy for real in the streets. And he starts hitting you with spinning heel kicks. In 1997, nobody knew what a lot of his stuff even was. This guy was writing the book on it. Oh, nice check there from Oleg Taktarov. Still hurts, though, you can tell. And the straight left lands for Ruas. Ruas just continuing to pepper those legs and win the boxing match. So 1-2 there from Ruas. And Ruas closing the distance, lands a right hook to the body. And a little left hook there from Oleg, but Ruas is getting less and less resistance from Oleg. Oleg's got to be getting tired. His hands are down by his waist much of the fight. He's running out of energy so much, he's having a hard time holding his hands up at this point. I think we're got to be running in on about 15 minutes in this match. If you're watching along on YouTube, you can probably tell exactly where we are. Another nice low leg kick there from Marco Ruas. Wow, and like I said, Oleg really limping now. Not much mobility. Straight right there from Oleg, but when you're a Sambo guy going against a former world champion Muay Thai fighter like Marco Ruas, you're not ready for those kinds of leg kicks. Especially back then before everybody was training everything. Oleg goes for the takedown. Good takedown defense for Ruas. Lands the left hook. And shucks another takedown attempt from Oleg Taktarov there. Oh, big leg kick again from Ruas. And Taktarov has the leg. This is dangerous. Oleg Taktarov, master of leg licks. He's master of leg locks and heel hooks. And now Oleg Taktarov on the top. Also a master of chokes. Oleg Taktarov working from the half guard here. Both guys extremely tired. And let's see what happens. Oleg Taktarov was waiting forever. How long? 15 minutes there? For Marco Ruas to make a mistake and give a little bit of opening. And that was not a tap from Marco Ruas. He's slapping Taktarov to the back of the head there. Now he's pushing, doing everything he can, try to create some space there. See, he's just kind of slapping him on the back of the head there. And you can hear the slap. I mean, that is painful. It is painful for sure. And there's a decision or a no decision. I don't believe that there are judges. 31 minutes, 12 seconds. And that is going to be the end of the fight. I guess they forgot to check the clock. 31 minutes and 12 seconds. Well, wow. I hope that was fun for you guys. I did enjoy it. I know compared to some of the fights today, there was a lot of, filling out process, obviously. A really long human chess match. I'm going to go through some of these other ones and try to find, and I will definitely find a quicker one for you. The next one I post, I'll make sure and find and make sure that it has an ending. But this was one of the very highest level matches up to this point. There is a decision. They said there will be a decision in the match. And you see the knee on the replay there from Marco Ruas after the hands. You got to think this has got to go to Ruas. But we're waiting for the decision here. Oh, on the replay there, left hook up to the temple there from the King of the Streets. This vintage footage here on Fights with Friends. Like I said, I ordered this on DVD, the late 90s from Brazil. And a little intermission here as they're waiting for the decision here between the King of the Streets, Marco Ruas, and the Russian Bear, Oleg Taktarov, while they add up those scorecards and wait to. And there it is. It goes to the King of the Streets, Marco Ruas. Thank you, everybody, joining me. Thank you for your patience. I know that was a very long match, but I hope you enjoyed some MMA history there. Watching the sport develop, a true mixed martial artist, true King of the Streets, Marco Ruas, getting the victory over the very tough, talented Russian Bear, Oleg Taktarov. Ruas just too much for him tonight. I'm Michael Fights with Friends. Please hit that like button if you like what I do here and want to see more fights like this. Please subscribe if you want to join the Fights with Friends family. As always, I love you. I respect you. Oh, and look, we'll have to watch this fight later. Pedro Rizzo, former UFC champion, a little foreshadowing here, versus Vernon Tiger White. We will do this one later for sure. I love you, I respect you, and I'll see your fine asses later.